Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lady Calimere and this is going to be my 58th video. It will be on the goddess Dumabati. Dumabati is one of the 10 Dasa Mahavidyas, and she is the 7th in the order. So we got Lady Boss, and there goes Miss Kitty. She just dropped in. So Dumabati, the 7th Mahavidya, her name means beholder of smoke, also called the smoky one. She is the goddess of smoke. She used to have a broom there, but one of these cats took it, which I think was very mean. So I'm gonna have to put a new broom. Anyways, and yes, she is actually described this way in many of the mantras and description as basically a stereotyped witch. So, interesting enough, she is goddess of witches and witchcraft and magic. Really, Lady Boss? You have to start tearing her apart? So we did have a beautiful card to represent her, but Lady Boss is sitting on the whole altar. By the way, Lady Boss is going to have her 5th birthday on September 30th. So Dumabati. Oh my God. Let me show you some of her yantras. And the yantra is very important to her. I got this on Amazon, this one. And it's 24 karat gold plated. Dhumavati, very dark goddess. In fact, of all the Mahavidyas, she's pretty much the blackest. Dumabati is the elder goddess. She's the pretty much grandma of the goddesses, the ancestral spirit. She has no consort. She is a woman by herself. Dumavati has 3 phases, but her main phase is always seen as a crone. Literally, crone. I don't mean like something like where Hecate or Oya is mistakenly called a crone. We're talking about literally a crone. The hag, the old lady, the grandmother, or Grandma Kali. So, from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m., she is a maiden goddess. And one can look at that she is the child, the little girl without any parents, the orphan, no one to rely upon. From 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., she is the mother. But in this way, we see her as a single mother, supporting her own child. From 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., she is the old lady, the crone, the hag. But she is one who is by herself, with no one, again, to rely upon. She is a goddess in this way her own independence. Her animal is carrion birds, and it would be a crow, even ravens. In fact, she carries a flag, a banner. Ow, that hurt my ears. With a crow. And if she's seen in a carriage, sometimes she's seen a chariot, not carriage, a chariot pulled by crows, if it's pulled by anything. Or she rides upon a crow. Sometimes her chariot is pulled by nothing, as she is a lady going nowhere. She has, her origin stories are two main ones. One of the origin stories is that, I'll make it short, Shiva was not invited to Sati's, her father, Yajna, fire ritual. And she went to the fire ritual, and her father insulted her husband, and she didn't want to hear any more. And so either she burned herself up with the yoga or threw herself into the fire. Now, when she died, the smoke that became of Sati was Dumabati, and which in this form, Sati was now in a sad state indeed, with a smoke. Another one was that Shiva and his wife sometimes said Sati. It was this Parvati, his second wife, I believe was Parvati. And she was hungry. Shiva told her to wait. And she kept saying that I'm hungry, I'm starving, I'm famished, I'm ravenous. And he wouldn't feed her. So she said, okay, well, I'll just have to eat you. And she does. She swallows her husband. And in which, while he was inside her, he convinced her or tricked her to let her go. And when she did, Shiva looked at her and cursed her and said, from now on, you will be a widow. You will be a woman going nowhere. You will have no husband. And this is a form that you will take. And from that, in this form, she was Dumavati. Dhumavati is the widowed goddess, but she's a self-made widow. She's a widow by choice. Here is a beautiful card of Dhumavati, and it comes from this beautiful oracle deck that I got from Amazon. It's by Alana Fairchild, the Kali Oracle, and the artwork is by Jimmy Manton. Very beautiful. Dumabati is usually described as ugly, but there are some descriptions that show her that she's actually pretty. But in most descriptions, and in many of her names, she's the old one, she's the widow, she's haggard looking, her bones look arthritic, that she has large teeth. With what teeth she does have, sometimes she's seen with tusks or big fangs, and that her lips are stained red, that her body is literally ashen or pale, or sometimes she's just really dark looking with sometimes red limbs that are stained with blood, and her lips are stained with blood, that she has a menacing look like fire behind her eyes, that sometimes she wears sometimes even seen to be a conical hat, that she carries a broom, and another hand a winnowing basket if she has two hands, and sometimes she's described with four arms. And she's saying that she crushes bones in her teeth, and that the sound is horrid, that it's nightmarish. She's described as a long beak-like nose, even almost like to a crow's nose. That she's really wrinkled and ugly and bent over, and that her clothes that she wears is actually from that of taken from a corpse from a cremation gown, and that it's her clothes is that of a mendicant, and that she's dirty, like she's just covered in ashes and from the dirt from the cremation ground, that her clothes are dirty, her ornaments, if she has any, are snakes, and that she is the smoky one, that she dwells in smoke. She is like smoke. She smells of smoke. She travels as well as smoke. Now, there is a lot of talk, and that she is described with 3 different ways, as 3 different goddesses, or not goddesses, just sometimes even considered almost like a demonic, that she is compared with a Lakshmi, Nriti, and Jayeshta. Now, a Lakshmi, yes and no, is that a Lakshmi means without radiance. Lakshmi means to be radiant. So she is without radiance. That I can agree on, but as the actual being, no. And let me explain. Nriti, Jayastra, and Lakshmi are not widows. Not one of them are widows. Dumavati is a widow. None of them are said to be described as crushing bones in her teeth. Dumabati is, as though they're considered sometimes like not apt, not pleasing to the eye. Dumabati is seen to the extreme. Also, another thing is that Alakshmi, Nriti, and Jayeshta do not have any positive qualities or positive benefits, but Dumavati does. Another one is that in her 108 names and even her 1,000 names, neither Jayeshta, Nriti, nor Alakshmi is mentioned. None of them are mentioned. So we can see some similarities between these beings, but they're not the same. It's like saying, well, an orange and peach and an apple is the same because they're fruit. Yeah, and? Well, they're juicy. Yeah, and? Well, they're fruit. They must be the same. No. Well, they contain fructose. Yeah, and? So, no. So, Dumabati is also said to have long hair, but it's matted. And as you can see, it's just like that gray, long hair. Yeah? You want to say something, Lady Boss? She wants to talk to you. She wants to teach about Dumabati. She knows a lot. Now, also, Dumabati is also said to have pendulous breasts. Her breasts are dry, means she cannot nourish with her. She no longer has milk, nor is she of the childbearing ages anymore. So, Dumavati, as we can see, is the elder goddess. So, oh no! You're distracting me, Lady Boss. Little boo. Dumabati, her places where she could be found, places of worship, are cremation grounds, funeral parlors, graveyards, places, abandoned houses, I would say, abandoned homes, places that have been like bombed out markets that have been hit with missile attacks, places of great tragedy, wild places like deserts, uninhabited places, caves, dare I say crossroads. Anything to do with destruction, ruins. Also, my glasses fell off. Ruins. Great. She is also, if you, it's impossible to do, but she's described as a black hole. In fact, she is described as constantly hungry, constantly eating, that nothing escapes from her. Nothing escapes from her. And usually black holes can travel, but there are a lot of them are stationary. And that nothing escapes from her, even light. She pulls in everything. And deep down inside the darkness, she is light. Now, I used to think that she was a light in the darkness, and I would meditate upon her. And she told me, no, I am not light in the darkness. I am the darkness around the light. So I always like to research what I get in meditations or what I get from spirits. I like to ask around. I like to talk to experts. I like to read up on books, read up on scriptures, read up on just anything, and do a lot of research. And when I found that she is the dark around the light. She's not the light in the dark. Which is very interesting. So sometimes she will give the fear not gesture. Which the boon gestures hand out like this. This is the fear not. That gesture is also a gesture of blessing. Dumavati, the better time to worship her, especially in her crone aspect, is from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Especially, so it would be at night, especially on moonless night, when the moon is dark, or the new moon. Not the crescent, but the new moon. And in the tantric scriptures, that it's even better to do in a cremation ground or a cemetery, naked. Skyclad. I should have said skyclad. In your birthday suit. Now, also, lunar eclipses are sacred to her. And some people actually bring up the solar eclipse, for she is called the devourer of the devourers. The devourers. She is the destroyer of the destroyers. She is the apex predator of the predator. She will eat the predator. She will destroy the destroyer. She is before and creation and after destruction. She is the gap. Little gap. So when you end a sentence, period, gap. Between thoughts. She is when you, the breath. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little secret here that I was taught and that I'm allowed to teach. Okay, when you breathe in, say 1, 2, 3, 4, and you hold for 2 or 4 seconds, that's her. You release 1, 2, 3, 4, then you hold. That is her. Between inhaling and exhaling, when you hold your breath, that is her. It's like the beats between the heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. When it's at that point where it's boom, boom, when you don't hear the beat, that is her. She is also the goddess and part of our sleep pattern. So when you go to sleep, you have the hypnotic stage, 0, then 1, 2, 3, REM, 1, 2, 3, REM, 1, 2, 3, REM. Stage 0 only happens at once until you wake up and go back to sleep. Then it's 1, 2, 3, REM. The third stage is her. It is the closest to a coma that you can get. Very, like, that is her. The dreamless sleep. She is the shadows within the shadows. She is the dark. She represents the dark night of the soul. And she also represents when you hit bottom. When you hit bottom, you can only go up. She is that power where healing, your healing is going to begin at the acknowledgement, the understanding of your sufferings. Because you cannot really resolve or heal any of those problems until you really stop denying that it exists. To be honest with yourself. And as they say, no pain, no gain. You exercise, right? And you work those muscles. Well, they're gonna hurt and feel sore. That's her. You learn martial arts. You're gonna hit that bag, the punching bag. You're gonna cause your knuckles to hurt. That's her. She could teach through pain. She can heal through pain. She can make strong through pain. And she can give experience through pain. Now, I'm not saying she's all about pain. However, she is not the most approachable goddess. She's not for the weak of mind, the weak of heart, the weak of guts. If you want something soft and cuddling and fuzzy and fluffy and rainbows and hearts and unicorns, you got the wrong goddess, friend. Dumabati is not that type of goddess. Now, there's also another story about her. She is the goddess of the Deluge. Now, they talk about the biblical deluge and that Noah, when the time frame they gave it was other civilizations. However, every civilization has talked about a flood, from the Mayans to the Aztecs. I mean, all these different societies and civilization has talked about a great flood. Even in Hinduism, there was a great flood, and that great flood that covered the earth, when the water covered the earth, was Dumabati. She is the great flood. She is the goddess of pandemics, epidemics, major catastrophes. She is the smoke. And where there's smoke, there's fire. She's the smoke of a building collapsing. She is the smoke of a bomb going off. She is the smoke of after destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. She is that smoke. of destruction. Really? Don't be scared, Lady Boss. She loves you. Okay? Okay. Oh, here she comes. Dumabati can be very unsteady, very angry. But she ain't angry at you. No, she has no reason to be angry at you. You're a good girl. You're right. One of them stole her broom. So, and she also, by the way, her laugh is described as the cackling of a witch. That that's her laugh. I'll get you and your little dog too. She'll literally talk like that. Her energy, when you call her, it's very thick. It's very dark. It's very powerful. And if you can, make the environment kind of smoky, burn some smoky, oh God, incense. And if you can't, visualize the smoke. Because I know in some places you can't. And I know in some places it's illegal to tamper with fire alarms. So you may want to cover them. Or I'm not going to tell you to tamper with them because I'm not going to tell you to do anything illegal. But if you need to burn incense, just like cover them or open windows, because it's nothing like when you're getting into meditation to really wake you up out of it. Yeah, that bothers her too. Her ears went back. There. So Dumabati deals with death. She is death. And I hate it when, oh, Yama is the god of death. Oh, no, there can only be one. It's like Highlander. The gods are like Highlander. There can only be one. We pigeonhole our gods. We peg-hole our gods. No. Actually, the deities do overlap each other. They do. Dhumavati deals with death. She is the power of death. So she is the smoky one. Her colors are grays and blacks. Some use like dark purples and blacks. So if it's any colors that deals with smoke is hers. Her stones, diamond, especially the black diamond. Smoky quartz, jet, which is also called black amber, but it's really not an amber. Coal. I'm not talking about just charcoal. I'm talking about literally coal from the coal mines. Master Shamanite, which is black calcite. Those are good stones for her. Her planetary power is Saturn. Now, some people have linked her astrological sign to Scorpio. Her chakras within the body, I'm going to give you two. One is the heart chakra, but turned within itself. So between your chest, the heart chakra, turned within itself. Withdrawn energy. Now there's another one, and it's not really known. Should I give it to you? Lady Boss, should I give this secret chakra? Wag your tail for a yes. Okay. So the Korma Chakra, Koorma chakra, and that's located beneath the Muladhara. That's your root chakra, the Muladhara. So right below it is the Korma. That's where she's going to reside in. The energy before the beginning of the main chakras. Of course, there's lower chakras, but we're talking about the main chakras. Beneath the 7 is where she resides. The Korma Chakra. Only recently has this been that the Korma Chakra has been discussed. Before that, you couldn't find shit on it, as far as I know. Korma Chakra. It also deals with the moon, with lunar nodes. You ever hear of the Ketu? And I'm not gonna get into it right now. But the black skull, images of a black skull, also represents her. And as you notice, I have black wood beads for her mala and the skull, and oxbone, dark oxbone. You can also get smoky quartz beads. Excuse me. So other things about her is that she can represent ignorance. Atrocities, poverty, sadness, tragedy, depression. She's also a goddess of punishment. Oh my God! You finally frickin' did it. You finally did it. Let me see if she's okay. I just talked about punishment. Again, you almost did it, you little frigger. Are you happy? You destroyed the destroyer of the destroyer. So are you happy? Oh shit. And that's why I can't have nice things. Can you say that's why mommy can't have nice things? So anyways, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah, she represents punishments, and she does sometimes do it so that you don't carry it over to your next life. Now, she can also... Why the hell would I want to worship a goddess like that? I thought you said she was positive. She is. Number one, it is said that she has a soft spot for her devotees. That worshiping her can protect you from curses. Can protect you from curses. My pillows are falling down because of her. She hit the pillows before. Okay, protect you from curses. Protect you from enemies. To help you dealing with depression. If you're dealing with problems. If you're dealing with bad effects, especially from the moon. In your astrological chart of Ketu and Rahu, dealing with those energies, she's going to help you during the times of dark night of the soul, She's also a goddess of vengeance, and she deals with a lot of dark magic. So if you got an enemy you want to square up with, you have an enemy that owes you, you have an enemy that's bothering you, that's threatening you, she is used for that. And she is mentioned a lot with the black magic, dark magic, with whatever you want to call it. And a lot of people of left-hand path that I know of that become familiar with Dumabati really love her. She doesn't play nicey nice. And she can swallow your problems. Another thing is she can eat your problems. She can devour them. She's also known to take away. So if you have poverty, she could take that away. If you are sick, she can help take that away. If you're having any problem, she can help take that away. She can also be used for binding people, to make them stay still, to shut them up, also to stop them from seeing things, to blind them to something. We're not talking about taking away the eyesight, unless that's what you want, but she can obscure things. She can also create a curtain of illusion. And another thing is, if you're looking to hide yourself or to not be seen or to call back your light into yourself, like there's a spell of Revertere Meus Lucem, which is Latin for return the light waves to me. That is her. She can be the goddess of smoke screens. She could be used to control the dead. So in the case of hauntings, she can cause it. She could scare them away. If you got a bad spirit, a really bad spirit, well, she can be badder than a worse spirit. Dhumavati, she don't play when it comes to that. She can choke out a problem where smoke chokes. And I've used her, and I've seen I've had people call her on friends of mine, and one point I felt her energy, and I said, Dumabati, I called her out. I said, Dumabati, please don't hurt us. Dumabati, we're the good ones. Because she's one of my ex-fiance who's passed away. I'm not talking about my last ex who was a big load of shit. But I'm talking about my one who passed away. Before we got together, we were fighting some tantrics that were hurting a friend, and that we were all defending. And he fell asleep, and he said this never happened. His whole home was encased with smoke. It was like he was cooking something and it burnt, and the whole house that eventually I came to live in, and this was a big house covered in smoke. And I said, that's Dumabati. He knew it right. He even knew it. It's like, oh my God. And he had to call her to stop it. So yes, she can be used to call on innocent people. And yes, she can be used to curse your enemy and someone a higher tantric. I mean, we're talking about some of the blackest shit. And she could be used to kill an enemy, destroy an enemy, ruin an enemy, hurt an enemy. But she can also be used to protect and defend. God, my allergies are going nuts. And I cleaned everything. So, yeah, she can do all that. And she's not something to be called in jest. You call her in worship, or if you need something, you don't call her in jest. She's not a Kuan Yin energy. Oh, cut it out. Oh my God. And cats are allowed to do shit. God you're getting destructive. Ow! Isn't it me? You're the one being destructive. So I do want to show you some pictures here. So we got it out of the Tantric Visions of the Divine Feminine. Okay. So we have Dumabati, the Widow Goddess. There you go again. Why? Yeah, Kevin. Oh, I love you too. You gave me a kiss. Ooh, it's a wet kiss. Ugh. Got spit all over my mouth. So, bear with me. We have, and here's, no, why are you eating her? She's not food. Here's, we have her with, where she's young and she's fully exposing her vagina and she's looking at herself in the mirror and she's wearing actually ornaments here, pearls. We have her riding a crow. It's only a few pages long about her, but it's a really good chapter. And now I have no place to put the Dumabati. Let me put it right here. Stop picking on her. So, please excuse me, because I do not use notes. I do not write these things out. I do not have a script, and I usually get distracted. So there are different names of showing that she is... Okay, so before I get into names, she represents the widow. And at one time, when you gotta understand, a woman's, when she, in ancient India, and eventually where a woman marries her husband, her whole social identity, her whole identity deals with her husband. When she loses her husband, she lost her identity. And at one time, it was, the woman had to commit sati, which was burnt to death. So a man, when a man, it depends how many wives, if he had 10 wives, 12 wives, they're all put to death. One way or another, they were put to death. And usually that of burning. I heard there was other ways, like being buried and having a rock placed all over the hole where they would die. Horrible way to go. Either way, it's all horrible. And then eventually it was taken off the Hindu law books where a woman could not marry again. Because even if she was young, especially if she was childbearing, she was considered a dangerous temptation, a sexual, erotic, dangerous temptation, and that she was not allowed to marry again. Now, of course, things have changed, but I think in some places it's still, even today, that a woman cannot get married again. So, correct me if I'm wrong. So, and there's a popular saying in Varanasi, and I believe it's still held true today, that bulls, stairs, widows, and I can't remember the other word, unscrupulous holy men, which was called the sannyasis. Yeah, sun, it's got to be pronounced sannyasis. So the unscrupulous holy men. I mean, it's fucked up, but so a woman who no longer has a husband because he died is considered was a social misfit. But here's the thing, a woman without a husband is now no longer tied to those marital duties. So some of them have become holy people. they become pilgrims. They would travel from temple to temple and be able to concentrate on their spiritual and religious studies. Well, before they couldn't. Now, some of her names that I want to get into is said that she is a goddess to give enjoyment. That Dumabati is completely and utterly beautiful. And that she is lovely to look upon, to lovely to behold. The doe-eyed. She's also said to be adorned with beautiful clothes, beautiful new garlands and ornaments. And that she's a goddess who is also said to create dancing and to be a leader of said dancers. That she is a goddess of Rati. Now there is a goddess called Rati, and Rati she is sexual intercourse, and she is the wife of Kama. Kama, who is the god of desire. She is sexual intercourse, and that Dhumavati takes the form of Rati. And that she's also sexual wildness. So there's also a popular thing is that married people should not worship Dumabati. Those who are married. However, there are pujaris who are priests. Some of the priests are actually married and have children. And there are temples, Dumavati temples, that married people would go to and worship at her temple, at her altar, and bring offerings. Married people, married men, married women would be there. And that the reason why they said married people may not want to worship her is that she brings on a sense of wanting to be alone. To want to be able to do what you want to do. To not be tied down to your other half or your worldly duties. To not be tied down to your household, to just be able to travel at will. Yet there are people that say that they worship her. So, also her food. What do you want to give her? She likes blood. She loves spider webs. As you can see, the spider cloth. She likes the bodies of spiders. I'm not going to go tell you to go kill spiders, but if you find a dead body or the husk of a spider, if you have a pet tarantula and it molts, that would be a great offering for Dumabati. Your own blood, be careful. Just like prick your finger with a diabetic lance and you'll be fine. I'm not telling you to go open a vein or an artery, because that could be damn dangerous. Other offerings would include wine, drugs like marijuana, mind and mood altering stuff, or what's it called? Oh shit, that makes you trip. Hallucinogenics. Red wine. She loves burnt things, so you can burn her toast, like burnt bread. She likes, if you offer a fire to her and you want to make offerings in the fire, make sure it's smoky, because once you throw it in the fire, she's not going to accept it unless it's smoky. So you may want to do that outside if you want to offer things into the fire. Otherwise, she likes animal flesh, but some people are against it, so I would offer, you can offer her fruit. There are people that literally come to our temples and give her fruits and grains and rice. They will leave rice, and she likes chocolate. Darker the better. She loves dark chocolate. Sorry, that's my iced tea. You can give her your tears. Literally, when you cry, give it to her. Give it to her. She'll drink your tears. She loves your tears. Just give her a cup of your tears. Yum, 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 yum. Now, another thing that she likes, and this came from meditation, that I saw a ram's head. Like, literally, like, not ram's head, like bull's head. I'm like, what the hell? I talked to my friend who is a Brahmin, and he says sometimes, yeah, that was offered at one time. And I asked, and I also saw a boar's head. Now, he could not, couldn't confirm it to me, but however, when I did a lot of looking up in scriptures and stuff and information, is that you can offer boar meat or pork to different deities as long as they do not take the form of a pig. And as long as they eat meat, you could give them that. Otherwise, I would strongly advise against giving that. Now, she's also the goddess of storms. She is the goddess of like pouring rain and wind and lightning. But her clouds are dark, thick, angry looking clouds. Her storms are almost like angry, like just all of a sudden just form out of nowhere. She is the one to literally block out the sun. We're talking where you looking out and it's like, damn, I thought it was like 2 p.m. It looks like almost 8 because of those damn storm clouds. Another thing is, in the meditations, she is the god of the deep, dead wood. Sorry. My allergies. Ugh. I'm here fucking with my tissues. Sorry. So, she is the deep, dead wood. And in the meditation that I have led people in path working that she gave me, is through the path, her woods, there's nothing. No sound, no animals, nothing except for a mist, and inside that mist could be anything. Ooh. And she brings you to a clearing in the woods, and there is a fire. That fire is her. She is the goddess of the deep, dead wood. We're talking no leaves on those trees. As she's spooky. What else do I want to talk about her? Colors of fruits that you could give her too. Give her dark fruits. Like, you ever see those witch finger grapes? They're long grapes, black grapes like this, and they look like fingers, and they're called witch fingers. She loves them. I mean, I know it's not traditional, but I know she's eaten them and she loves them. She loves black grapes. So you can give her black raisins. So things that she holds, a winnowing basket. What the hell is a winnowing basket? The winnowing basket separates the husk from the grain, so that she separates the unusable to the usable. That's what she teaches, discernment. That teaches discernment. What can you use in life and what should you just throw away? What can you eat and what can't you eat? A fan, a winnowing fan. She also holds a sword, a trident, the trishul, that represents Shiva. She also sometimes holds a bowl in her, begging bowl, or a skull cup. And what that is it could be a skull and used as a cup, or like the top of the head, like literally taking this top off and using it. That would be her bowl, and sometimes in it will have blood. So in one aspect, she actually holds a mirror, like I showed you before. So depending on where you live, crow feathers could be illegal to get. So if you have crow feathers, I won't tell anyone. But I'm not going to tell you. I mean, just look up your state or county to make sure that you can collect or have raven and crow feathers. Because in some instances, if you're caught with it, you could be fined. And that fine could be hefty. What the hell? So, other things is that she is said to also reside, I forgot this, in dysfunctional homes. Oh God. How about dysfunctional homes? Can it be considered dysfunctional when your cats destroy everything and steal things off your altar? Who knows? She don't care. She'll just lay there. So, also, Dumabati there was a sage, her priest, a holy man whose name was Durvasa, who had a nasty, angry, irascible disposition, which was appropriate for the devotee of Dhumavati. Interesting enough that Dumabati, if she has a cult outside the Mahavidya's, please tell me, because I don't know anything about that, and a lot of experts cannot find any information about that. So we don't think that she had a cult outside the Mahavidya's. In fact, she was not written pretty much. There's not a lot about her in the epics, the Puranas and the Smartas, and so she seems to be one of the more obscure goddesses. So out of the 10 Mahavidya's, which means she of great wisdom, the Dasa Mahavidya's, also called the Dus Mahavidya, which means the 10 Mahavidya's, which, when I talk about Mahavidya's, we have Kali, Tara, Tripura Sundari, Bhuvaneshwari, Tripura Bharavi, Chinnamasta, Dhumavati, Bagalamukhi, Matangi, and Kamala Dmika, also called Kamala. So, so I forgot other offerings. She loves cigarettes, tobacco. She loves the smoke of cigarettes. So you can give her cigarettes, cigars, pipe smoke, pot smoke. You can give her a hit from a bong, anything that makes that smoke that you light and that you smoke. And she does love flowers. Black roses would be really cool, huh? But hibiscus. Kali loves hibiscus, and she's the elder Kali. The old lady Kali. She loves liquor, any type of liquor. And I mentioned wine, but she does love liquor. Please excuse me. My allergies are going crazy. I have a crazy little diva cat that's breaking my stuff. It's knocking down my altar, and Lily knocked down my statue and eating my statue. So I do not write notes. Oh no, you're not going to knock over my drink. No. No. So she does love all different types of liquor. Rum. whiskey. Not sure about beer. Maybe beer. I've never given her beer myself. Tequila. Why not? Even though that's Mexican. But why not? Tequila is really... She does love meat. She does love offering of flesh. No, boy. She's sizing up the Dumabati. She's literally looking from the side of the couch, sizing it up, doing the mathematical thing to knock over that statue like a bowling pin. No, you don't. No. God, pain in the ass. Pita. She's Pita. Pain in the ass. Pita. There, I taught you a new acronym. Pain in the ass. Pita. So other things that she likes is, what else? You can give her black rocks that you find in this, like you go outside in your garden, you find black rocks. That would be cool for her. She's also hold a broom. I forgot that. They just some things that I forgot. Kitty brooms. And we know that the base besom is a witch's broom or the Wiccan broom. So we got the besom or the broom that would represent her. Or that's one of her tools that she holds. Really? You almost fell, you big dummy, trying to knock over my statue. You little shit. She's my little shit, though. Now, those who have been marginalized, those who have been oppressed, those who have been considered a misfit, social outcasts, those who have been underestimated, those who have never even been given a chance, the last one to always be picked for a team, she's your goddess. Those who are seen as invisible in society or castaways, she is your goddess. The unloved, the throwaways, those who society has given up on, she is your goddess. Those also who like to wander and travel, those who have a distaste for worldly things, or those who like to just be by themselves, she's your goddess. Those who are looking for unconventional spirituality or religion, she is your goddess. Those who are not afraid to look at the dark or the left hand of things, and she does represent the left hand of Tantra. She is left-handed Tantra. I mean, I'm not saying right-handed Tantra can't. She represents Tantra, but a lot of left hands are into her. So, with that said, she is your goddess. Those who like to be around, this is gonna sound really creepy, corpses. If you like to work with corpses, like morticians, she's your goddess. Those who like the cemeteries and places of the dead, and even like to be around hauntings, here's your goddess. So those who like to be around more of the nighttime things, gothic things, may find her very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Dumavati is a like can be inauspicious, even dangerous. There is a Nepalese belief of the Baksis, and the Baksis is like a class of dangerous spirits that were said to possess widows. What is it against widows? Now, to become a Baksis, a Baksi, Baksis is plural, I guess. Yeah, Baksis is plural and Baksi is singular. Is where a woman, the widow, would have to sacrifice her husband or son. I do not recommend that. That's fucking illegal. But, yeah, one of those. And one might even say that, oh, she's La Llorona. La Llorona killed her own child. No, she's not La Llorona, nor is she Santa Muerte. Some people are trying to say, oh, Dumavati is like Santa Muerte. No. No, 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 no. She is not Santa Muerte. Not at all. Oh my God, there's so much I want to talk about. And I'm looking at the time, and I've been blabbing for an hour and 6 minutes. And I know some people were like, she's too long. Ooh, and another thing is she can be used against spirits that are possessing homes or the objects or people or animals. She can be used against that. She can cause trouble or help you to avoid it. Dumabati is said to be feared, and for good reason. Whether she's a symbolic widow or the symbolic widow is a human widow or the divine widow, she is to be feared. When I first, I want to wrap this up, but when I first started contacting her a long time ago, and I called her in a circle, oh my God, I wanted to run out of the fucking circle. I wanted to run out of my room screaming. She really scared me. She scared the shit out of me. And that intrigued me. And I stayed in the ritual for the whole thing. I recorded my results. And then I kept calling her. Very few deities have scared the shit out of me. She did. She scared the fucking shit. And even back then, in the early 2000s, I started in 1983 learning about witchcraft. So I had some time under my belt. I wasn't a newbie. She scared the shit out of me. And that's one of the reasons why I love her a lot. Because I accepted her. She is the fear of fear. She is the face of fear when you look at her. Can you look at her? Can you face your fear? Does she seem interesting? Or she sees something, not ready. Well, anyways, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. This has gone on long enough. If you liked my video, please give me thumbs up. If not, then give me thumbs down. And if you really like it, subscribe to my video. And please share this video with friends, family, your Facebook, your other social media platforms. And please always be kind to animals. And if you like my video, I do not have a Patreon, so please think about donating money to Shy Wolf Sanctuary. Or also think about donating money to widows and orphan children. And also to a women's shelter. Thank you very much. Blessed be. And Yeah, sorry for the distractions. Are you sorry, Lady Boss? No, I'm not sorry at all. Okay, take care. Thank you and blessed be.